So, a quick few things. Hopefully my camera will allow me to finish the whole thing because I might not have that much space. But anyway, for one, I don't like the way this camera does when it's inside the case. It doesn't allow me to position it so I can record like I want to because the outer part of the case will be blocking the camera. For two, which probably should have been one. I was just thinking about this chick that would pull up in front of my house. It was across the street, of course, but it was in front of my house, and just would always be. She would be on the passenger side, and she would just always be this smile on her face, this grin on her face, looking towards my house and my door. And it's like, what is up with that? Why do y'all always? Why do you even look over here when you pulling up over there? What's over here for you? You know what I'm saying? If you haven't addressed it directly or whatever the case may be. And so, yeah, pulling up or whatever. This was like every time, and just always this grin on their face. And I'm just like, what? Now this same person pulls up, and now she pulls up in a different type of way. She pull up as the driver. I'm guessing that's a decent thing. I don't know. I don't really read too much into it, but I just noted, you know what I'm saying? I just observe it. And she ain't smiling no more like that, and she barely even want to get out at this point. It'd be so funny to me, but it's like, no, honey, it was all laughing and grins and stuff this whole time or whatever. It's all fun and games or whatever. But anyway, not to go too deep on that. That's just something that I noticed or whatever. And I would see it, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes, just whenever I hear a car or a corridor or whatever, I might look out the window or whatever, see if it's anybody coming over here, which mostly people know not to come over here unexpectedly, but, you know, it could be a thing if I encouraged it or whatever. But, anyway, so yeah, that just irked me. And then I'm just speaking on the fact that I did this review of this place that I got counseling at. I just did it today. It's been over a year or whatever that I've been at the place or whatever, but just had to mention how the place almost added more stress to me than help and support, you know, which is part of what they advertise with what they offer. Counseling is supposed to help you. It's not supposed to like make you feel like you're either stuck, or I don't want to say I was going backwards, but stuck or not getting anywhere, or you know, it's like they didn't seem to put too much effort into wanting you to do better when you can specify what type of help you need. It seemed like they might have just been interested in giving you a diagnosis and maybe even trying to put you on some medications, ultimately, eventually, if that was the case or whatever. But, you know, I didn't even allow it to get that far. Because I just for one, God intervened with COVID, and I had already discontinued pretty much. I wasn't trying to. I wanted the help. I wanted the assistance, and I wanted to continue. But it was just a couple of things. They seemed minor, but they like impacted me in like a major type of way that was just, it deterred me from wanting to go back. And so I did a review on this place, like I said, as of today, which is September 17th. And yeah, I feel like it needed to be done. I feel like a lot more speaking up about certain places needs to be done to either encourage or discourage a person from utilizing that place of business or whatever the case may be. Place of business or that person of certain, you know, that's providing a service or a product. Because if not, where's the accountability? How do we hold each other accountable? How do some get to hold some accountable, but they're not really holding themselves accountable? They're not really speaking on what they got going on. I'm talking about that's really directly affecting another person. I'm not just talking about just because it's your personal business and it's really affecting you, maybe your household or whatever, but it's affecting a whole nother person outside of your indirect life. Outside of your direct life, excuse me. And so, I just don't get it. But I'm sitting out here in the gazebo again, my little space or whatever, and just chilling or whatever. And this place is anointed, trusting God to continue to cover, let the angels encamp about around this specific spot right here in place, because I see some eyes watching, and You know what I'm saying? I mean, it seems like they're just so hungry for destruction. Now, that could be me because of what I've been through. It's been a lot of destructiveness and chaos and stuff trying to surround me and trying to come at me. But that's what it looks like to me. It appears that y'all are just peering and glaring and just looking like, what kind of trouble can I come and cause over there or start over there? Oh, that's too peaceful. No, mind your business and build up. And if you're not trying to come at me correct, definitely don't come around me at all. I do not welcome you. I do not invite nobody. I ain't telling nobody to pull up. Don't let your pull up game be strong. You are not invited, period. You don't know how to come correct. Go somewhere till you learn and stay over there. If you never learn, like, that's not, I don't have nothing to do with that. So, yeah, I did the review. I'm also going to do a review on another establishment that I went to. And I don't try to give bad reviews and try to be a jerk or a-hole, but people shouldn't be scared to speak up about their experience. The facts, the truth definitely, but their experience with a certain place that they've been to or whatever. And now I realize that when I went to that place yesterday, it had something to do with a dream that I had and woke up around 3 or 4 in the morning yesterday before I was going to this place. I'm telling you, my thing is God is always ahead of the enemy, so he already gave me a dream regarding some stuff, and then next thing I know, I experienced it. And I wish that more of the, so to speak, good dreams that I've had would happen that quickly. But a lot of times this bull crap, to me, I'm not going, anything that God gives me is not bull crap. Anything that's from God. But I mean, like, the bull crap experience and feeling that I have to deal with associated with it, well, coming from whatever spirit, I'm gonna just be real, the spiritual atmosphere, the spirits that's operating in that place or whatever, for where I'm about to go or what I'm about to do or whatever. I wish that, that was subside. Ooh, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. I read something yesterday that said, is it allergies or COVID? So now we're getting ready to put what our seasonal allergies or stuff like that usually was as COVID, I guess. I don't know. Not trying to prophesy. But I do want to be accurate. I ain't gonna lie about that part, but I'm not really trying to put that out there. So you sneeze wrong, honey. You got COVID, and you know what I'm saying? And who knows what type of restrictions or restraints are they're gonna try to put on you sneezing. And Lord have mercy. I rode with an Uber driver yesterday, and he did not have a mask on, but they require you to wear a mask as the rider. So quite naturally, he's reported as not wearing a mask. Like, don't play with me, play with your mammy. But this is the thing, I don't care about for these masks or whatever. Heck yeah, sometimes I be wishing somebody would let me slide and this, that, and the third or whatever, but if it's a requirement on that app and it is, you know what I'm saying, you're going to be outside your house and stuff, and you're going to be interacting with other people that you don't usually interact with, you really do need to take at least some type of precaution. Like I said, I don't like wearing the mask. We wasn't born wearing masks. We need our respiratory system to breathe in fresh air and stuff like that. But this thing that's going around, you know what I'm saying, this this COVID or whatever, you just want to be careful. I'm not going into all that because I don't do enough research to really speak on that. And I'm not out in the public as much. I think I'm soon to go out in the public. Maybe, possibly, I don't know. Let God have his way. Intervene, if you will, whatever the case may be. Have your way, God. Let it be done according to your will. But yeah, just be careful. So, anyway, I'm going to do a review on this establishment, and I wanted to kind of speak on it here, just in case I don't get around quick enough to document it, and I need to come back and get some pointers or whatever. But the experience was, it was okay. It was definitely, to me, mediocre. It's not all it's cracked up to be, and it's definitely not worth the price for what they're charging, as far as, to me, my opinion, as far as admission. I think it needs to be one set price, even for adults, or it needs to be a little lower. Let me just say this. It should probably be $10 for adults and maybe $7 for children. But you do get a wealth of information, and it's a whole lot to take in. You do probably want to go back again to try to maybe just read some of the information that you might have missed. They don't allow you to take photographs and stuff like that. I don't, you know what I'm saying? A lot of places, of course, don't want to do that. Probably for business and financial purposes, make sure they ain't losing no money. Oh, well, I seen this there already on somebody's video. I don't know what I need to go for, you know. So that's understandable. But it's a nice little. They got it fixed up nice. I did see somebody that is familiar to me. I'm not familiar with the person, but their appearance is familiar to me. I know them from another establishment. Seemed pretty cool, calm, and collected. Seemed a little more relaxed in this setting, but he was. When I tell you, some people really they take their job to heart. He was on top of his job, like so much so where he was, and yes, it was a male. He was on top of me, not literally, not physically, but you know, he was on top of his job, and I was kind of like, back up, sir. But it was a time where I had kind of got mixed up on the direction I was supposed to be going in, as far as where to start at the place, and you know, where to finish or whatever. But we got it straight, and I kind of had to tell him, go ahead, I already been told, I already been warned, I've been, you know what I'm saying, somebody already told me. But yeah, it was okay, especially being that I went to this place. I frequented this place when I was about 4 or 5 years old with my, you know, now late grandma. We used to go there, we used to eat and stuff like that or whatever. And whatever else we used to do. I can't remember everything because I was so young. But I do remember the place and the name of it. And, you know what I'm saying? It kind of almost still looks the same, except now that it's historical. But, so my experience there, as soon as I go in, I had just sanitized my hands, me and my kids, because when we got out the car, that's just what it is. Of course, everybody got sanitizer sitting right there, so I'm told to sanitize my hand. I said, ma'am, I just did that. You know what I'm saying? You just don't, it's just so much. But I'm not trying to be rebellious or anything like that. I said, I just did when I just walked in. I meant before I got out the car or whatever, but okay, I understand. Got your sanitizer there, it's not no big deal. And, watching that, soon come in, and then just this right here is already, to me, it was off-putting. The lady's appearance, like what she was wearing and some of the other things, it was off-putting to me. And again, this is my opinion. People really can pretty much wear what they want to, dress how they want to, wear as much makeup as they want to, wear as much wigs and weaves as they want to, but you know, it was just off-putting to me. And especially for you to be so about sanitizing and this, that, and the third. And I'm not saying she looked dirty, but she just didn't appeared to look like she does clean deeds on a regular basis. But anyways, I'm not gonna say nobody on drugs or anything like that. Moving on, because that's not what it's about. As soon as I go in, I didn't want to use card. I wanted to use cash, so I was I had to go to a whole nother place to pay using cash, that's crazy. You know, you can't go to the front desk as soon as you come in using cash. So I don't know, that maybe again it's just everything is just being set up for not a cashless society. That's a possibility. I hear it all the time. I don't know, but I had cash on this day, and if y'all want to use this money. And then so I was directed to go somewhere else, basically to the shop, the gift store, whatever. And the person in there was it was a Caucasian male. And, you know, I'm thinking everything's going to be professional. Everything, again, is set up real nice and neat. And I go to the register to pay for my tickets and stuff to get in. And they already had problems getting in the cash register. They needed to get a key from I'm not going to call him a janitor, but another person. And I kept hearing them saying something, you need to get another key. The man who brought the black man who bought the Caucasian man the key, he just kept saying, you need to get a key made and something, whatever. Lord have mercy. And so, I'm trying to go over it in details as much as I remember. So he ended up, it took about 2 to 5 minutes for me to do that. For them to do that, not me. But I had to wait. And he finally got the register open. He was taking my cash, and I was like, oh, okay. I seen something that I wanted to purchase. Also, and I was like, okay, well, I'm getting the tickets, and I want to purchase this. And I heard him say, well, I need to run to the bank. He wasn't talking to me, but he was just saying, I need to go to the bank. So I'm guessing they wasn't set up for the day as far as that. And then I was flat out told, our point of sales is down for the day. Something about their point of sale systems or whatever is down for the day. So I couldn't get a receipt. I said I want a receipt because for whatever I pay for, I want a receipt. I don't want no problems. I don't want nobody ever, trying to accuse this little black girl of stealing anything or anything like that. Or just whatever. You know what I'm saying? The building already got cameras everywhere anyway, of course. But, so I'm already just feeling like, not that it was a terrible idea, but I'm trying to push through. I'm like, gosh, y'all irritate. Again, like, how can y'all be such a nicely appearing establishment, but y'all don't even have y'all stuff together? But you expect other people to be so sanitized and clean up. And I'm just using that in the metaphorical type of sense or whatever. Yeah, you need to sanitize your hands. You sure do. It's okay to do that. But I'm just saying, how are you holding somebody else accountable when basically your hands is dirty, your stuff is not in order? It's like, leave people alone until you... I don't want to go into that not judging people, because the Bible do say judge righteously. I do believe that, and I do agree with that. But, like, don't be so don't be so quick to basically turn away somebody's good business and this, that, and the third for whatever reason. You might think their appearance is off or just whatever. So anyway, point of sales was down. I was told that. So I told him, I was like, okay, well, I need a receipt. Can you write me out a receipt while you're doing my, you know what I'm saying? And he did. And I was like, can you initial it or sign it? You know what I'm saying? Just to... he felt a little type of way, about it. But I was like, and I tried to apologize. I'm not trying to be difficult, but I'm just keeping it real with you. Like, I need the receipt. And so he did. And I appreciate him doing that. And I'm not going to say it's above and beyond, because y'all stuff should have been on point. And, so that was that. And of course, that stands out to them. And I told him, I was like, that's not good for business. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm coming in here. You got a shop set up. You need to be able to give people receipts right then and there. Well, as far as I know, it's just for today. Okay, well, it shouldn't have been no days. Y'all don't need to be caught slipping. It's a whole Thursday out here. This is, you know what I'm saying, the day before the weekend. Y'all still stay open. I think they might open 7 days a week, but definitely on until Saturday. So I went in there when it definitely wasn't a lot of people or whatever. One suggestion that my son made was that they should really save the virtual part, that you have to sit where there's a projector and a screen and stuff, for the end as opposed to the beginning. They should really allow people to tour the place physically first. I thought it was a good suggestion, and I was asking him why or whatever, and he went into some details. But I agree they should probably use that other part last, because that way you can kind of relax and catch up on what you just walked around and took in. But other than that, do the usual. Give a map and print off how people get around the building and stuff like that. But anyway, it was definitely informative. And it was just, like I'm telling you, a whole lot to take in with so much information. So, I'm telling you, like I barely remember a lot of it, except for stuff that I've already known. And then when I walked in this one room, at first, then when I went in there the second time, I was okay. But the first time I went in there, I felt something like tried to overtake me, and I was like, this is crazy. So I don't know really what that was or whatever, but it was like and I'm not into paranormal, I'm not into all of that. I'm definitely into spiritual, but I'm not into paranormal activity and stuff like that. But it might have been something like the people that were posted on the wall in this room, maybe spirits and stuff of some of them that are deceased. I don't know. It was just something. It like hit me as soon as I went in there. And I was like, ooh. And I went in there the first time because they were trying to let me know, you might not, it's graphic in here, you might not want your kids in here. And I'm like, so we went in there, and it wasn't nothing that they haven't seen before. It wasn't as bad. It was just a couple of pictures that were, but really we need to just be being honest and let people know what happened in history for real. Like not the fake history, not lies and stuff, but really what happened. And so I was like, okay, they're all right. And I mentioned, because I'm a woman of God, I'm a woman of prayer. I was like, oh, I'll stay prayed up. They'll be all right. But it did have me think about, it's certain stuff that unless you are covered. I really don't care what age you are. I mean, of course, babies and kids don't need to be watching everything, but I really don't. After once you at the age that you can observe for yourself and stuff like that, hey, as long as you stay prayed up and covered, you can see. You need to be seeing that truth. So that was that. So anyway, we made our way through the establishment. It was cool or whatever. Especially the main part that you come to see. Um, and that's why I say that you get out of there so quickly. I mean, unless you're reading everything that's on the walls, you get out of there so quickly. It's not really a big place, so it's not really worth what it doesn't seem like it's worth what they're asking for you to get in for admission. We went through there and we finished off or whatever, and we ended up back at the front desk. As soon as you get to the front desk, they already like greeting you. Well, how was it? You know what I'm saying? Before you get even over there, you can't even get out good. And I'm like, and mind you, I'm pretty much the only family there, so I'm all they see. Of course, y'all been watching the whole time on cameras anyway. I don't really care because I'm well behaved. My kids are well behaved. We might get a little mixed up or whatever, but yeah, it was cool. And so, that was to redirect us to come over to the desk. So by this time, there was another lady out there. She may have been a lady that was doing some of the presenting on, like when you sit down and watch the tour on the projector. But yeah, she was out there, and then she started talking to me. It was almost like you know, trying to distract from something or whatever. But anyway, we engaged. Took me and my boys over there, and I was letting them know. I said, this is an awesome place. But I said the concern that I had was something about the point of sales and this, that, and the third, and that one lady, she started speaking of, yeah, that's our point of sales are down and this, that, and the third or whatever, and explaining herself. And I'm like, okay. And then she proceeds to even go and start talking to my kids about, what they experience and what they learn and stuff like this. And I really, I don't have a problem with people, I guess, speaking to children, but a lot of times I think you need to, hey, is it okay for me to ask your kids, what's going? I think you need to start being more respectful to the parent on what you feel like you want to say or need to say to somebody's kids. Period. And I mean, naturally, we all sometimes are drawn to kids and want to speak. But I don't want to overstep my boundaries when it comes to other people's kids. And I definitely don't want nobody overstepping their boundaries when it comes to my kids. So I didn't like that part. Even though, again, what she was asking, it wasn't inappropriate or anything like that, but it was just the principle, like, y'all be careful with people's children. Be careful with the adults, number one, but definitely be careful before you set the people's kids. And so then me and her got to talking, and we was talking about a place where we had in common and where we could relate or whatever. And it was just, again, it was something just off-putting about this lady. It was already off-putting about the first lady, and the first lady was still standing, from when I first came in the building. She was still standing right there too, and they were just trying to explain and all that. People do too much trying to impress somebody else. And for me, I'm speaking of people of color. Y'all do too much trying to impress somebody else when y'all know it's a crock that's going on, and you don't have to do all that. But I don't know. Like I said, I already had that dream yesterday, and it kind of like prepped me. I don't fully understand and interpret it, but I do feel like that was a part of it, of course. They tried to welcome me back, tried to act like they were welcoming me back. Like, yeah, you got to come back again in order to to get more information. I was thinking to myself, I doubt it, but at the same time, it's just the fact that y'all even saying that, knowing good and well, y'all probably don't want me coming back up in here at all. Knowing good and well, because if y'all not on point, and again, if you people of color and like somebody always try to say, I like to pour into black businesses and this, that, and the third, and I have to say that this is a black business, so to speak. I don't know all the details, But um stop trying to cover stuff up. Stop trying to hide stuff. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. We just need to get out of that. It's generations of people that do that and still do that. Like, even when my grandma was alive, I seen her do stuff. Like, one time her gas got cut off, and she was like, "Oh, I don't want the neighbors to see me because they know now that my gas got cut off." And it is embarrassing or whatever, but something contributed also, because I know my grandma is a hard worker. She pays her bills and stuff like that. So, something else contributed to her um that happening. And it could have been, she was overspending and not budgeting, but it was something else that was there. I truly believe that. I believe that it had something to do with the place of business. But she was retired, but she was still trying to get some extra money coming in, and she was working at my mom's establishment, which is of course her daughter. And you know what I'm saying? It might have to do with that or whatever, whether the way they was paying her and this, that, and the third. I sat down and I talked to her about some stuff. I said, why can't they give you your money right here and then and there or whatever? And why did they got to do, you know what I'm saying? And then it was another thing. She was renting a place from them and stuff like that. And she talked to me about it or whatever. Telling me about how she felt. And then, she ended up leaving or whatever. That was her decision. That wasn't me convincing her. That was me listening and talking, and I might have provided my opinion or whatever, but she made that decision. But I don't know. It's always something where somebody else is taking out of somebody else's mouth and hand, so they can do what they feel they need to do, and they don't have no high regard or concern for other people, the people that's around them or whatever. And me personally, I feel like I'm like that because I'm concerned about my household at this point, because I've been treated like that. It's corruption in this world, so you already been treated like that. So I almost feel like I didn't have a choice but to be like tight with some of my stuff. Like right now, the space I'm in, everybody not in here, coming in here. You're not welcome. It's like you know what I'm saying, a little girls club or what, or just, you know what I'm saying, a clubhouse where everybody's not welcome. And this world has made me feel like, will help to start seeing like why people can get like that. I don't know people details of why they are exactly like that, but why people can get like that. You're not welcome, you're not included, this, that, and third. So guess what? Me and God is included in here, and my kids are welcome. But whoever is not is just not. It is what it is. But I don't know, man. It's just a bunch of corruption, and it's a bunch of people not holding themselves accountable and not being held accountable and stuff like that. And I'm not with it. So, but yeah, with that being said or whatever, just not with it. I just don't appreciate the treatment that I didn't even know that I was getting. I didn't know I was getting mistreatment and abuse and stuff like that. Mentally, spiritually, you know what I'm saying? It was because it wasn't in a physical way. I didn't recognize it as any type of abuse. But even with the receipt thing and stuff like that, I didn't even want to buy anything else out the store because I didn't want to pressure him to have to write out another receipt. But I was not leaving out of there without another receipt. I wasn't going, and I guess that could have turned into something ugly because they probably feel like, hey, you know what I'm saying, you need to leave the premises or whatever, this, that, and the third. Because people do that. But now I want a receipt for what I purchased, and and now I have to ask and make sure, you know what I'm saying, am I going to get a receipt before I purchase this? Because if not, then I don't want it. I'm not going to hand you my money. I don't even want to do that. Because for real, you're really supposed to be giving people the receipts and stuff like that. You're supposed to be prepared. That vehicle just had the American flag and stuff on it. Sitting here like, what is going on? But anyway, I don't know, man. I just pray continuously for divine intervention, for God to come sit with his people, the ones that he called and the ones that are chosen by him. Sit with your people, talk to them, because I feel like some of them are, you know what I'm saying, trying to be people of God, but somewhere they, you know what I'm saying, got rerouted or whatever, and including myself, you know. And again, I know my details, so I know some places where I drifted or got rerouted or whatever the case may be, or just flat out chose otherwise. But I haven't came across too many people that confess and speak up. And I'm not saying confess to me, but really want to repent. They just want to forget about what happened and stuff like that and not deal with it at the root. And it keeps on coming up. Keeps on coming up or whatever. On this note, let me go be nosy and see what's going on around here. My stuff. I'm like, what is going on? Oh, look at it. They didn't leave my stuff where they blocked my door. That's not what I tell you. I said beside the porch, not blocking my door. Like, what if I had to come in? Don't block my door, Amazon. But I appreciate y'all delivering my stuff. Anyway, on that note, I gotta go.